All right, and welcome back. My name is Greg Freese. I'm the host of the Frying Pan. Today we're going to be talking about three topics here. We're going to be talking about Alex Pretti, which we do have a split view on. We're going to be seeing from more of a Fox side and also CNN, NBC, people like that, MSN. And then we're going to talk about the Ilan Omar attack today, which we'll talk about it, but I don't really see it as an attack, but but also, we're going to be talking about maybe a potential shutdown coming into place because that is a big thing that is happening. Also, that could be really getting more coverage than what it is because it does mean serious things, especially for the people that get benefits, tax time, stuff like that. So, we're going to get right into it. We're going to start off with the Alex Pretti. So I got MSN here, and I do have NBC. I was gonna have a Fox, and I will pull that up real quick. Yeah. So this is just gonna be basically a little backstory of who he was too, because I don't think that's getting enough coverage itself. So it is one of those things. Wow, this is a Fox News thing. It's on MSN. That's crazy. Okay, so all right. So overall, um, is unfortunate and it is sad that he lost his life. I'm going to say that before we start into things. Um, it is one of those things where people like this they don't deserve to die. Nobody deserves to get shot and killed, especially when they're on the ground. Um, and even though they can be a little absurd, doesn't mean they should die. Maybe go to prison or get a ticket or charged. But when it comes down to it, nobody deserves to die for anything like this, especially when they're being not a threat towards somebody's life in technical meaning of like, not trying to be. But I also do side with the fact that, in certain situations you can defend yourself to the fullest extent, especially if you think your life is in danger. I did go over the Renee Good, the Renee Nicole Good situation. I did believe that they both were in the wrong, but the first shot I don't think was in the wrong with the Renee Nicole Good situation because he was defending himself. The other shots in the side of the window, that was kind of overkill. I said that in my first video. I'll say that now. So we'll go ahead and go into the Alex Pretti. Um, so basically, the whole story just is there was a protest going on. ICE agents were detaining somebody. A woman got involved and she was impeding. And they pushed her down. I was about to arrest her. But Alex Pretti also started impeding and also trying to make it so ICE could not arrest anybody there that they were trying to arrest. Stories were going about that he was just a reporter. He only had his camera and that's it, which is completely incorrect. He did have a firearm. Now, was he going to use that firearm on them? The video is very spotty. Once body cam comes out, I'll talk about a little more on that part. But there was a firearm involved. Okay. This was supposed to be a peaceful protest, so don't know why he needed to bring a gun to a peaceful protest. I'm all for the Second Amendment, and I will stand by that. But you're going to a place where it's already going to get heated, potentially. These peaceful things usually never stay peaceful, and they know that. So I'm gonna say that's a fault right there already for him, which sucks. You don't want to be at fault for something like that because it is your Second Amendment right. But you should know how these type of things go, right? When we look at it this way too. So overall, don't really remember where I left off because I had to walk away for a second. But fault for him. He did bring a gun. to a peaceful protest. I believe in the Second Amendment right, but with that Second Amendment right does come responsibility. And the responsible thing would be knowing that these things do get heated. Usually, like I said, they do know that is a responsibility of your own to not put yourself in a situation where you might need to use it, or also get killed for having one on you because you could be seen as a potential threat, right? Obviously, they're there to defend yourself, which is awesome. Um, there's a lot of things going around saying that he wasn't licensed or that he was permitted to carry, which you can own a weapon, but you might not be able to have a concealed carry license, which in New York, they kind of go hand to hand for pistols. I can own a shotgun and not have a license for the shotgun, but for a pistol in New York, to own a pistol, you need to have your concealed carry's license to carry a pistol, or even buy one at that point. Um, so overall, it's a very sticky situation when it comes to already what it is. And now he's impeding and he's causing an uproar. He's not being the most compliant, which also makes aggression, makes the moment get more heated than it needs to be. There's just a bunch of shit, dude. It's one of those things of like, you know, play stupid game, win stupid prizes. Right? It's pretty simple. Um, it's sad that it has to be like that, because it shouldn't be like that. Uh, we should be able to have the peaceful protests as they would say, but they, like I said, they never end peacefully. Usually, there's always riots that break out. You do have a lot that are normal, but there's already a big thing that this guy was already aggressive. A few days earlier, before this happening, he was seen breaking um, ICE's vehicle, broke out his taillights, saying "fuck you." Um, he was basically he was already an agitator a couple days before. Okay, and basically it's just he, and this isn't like the only time he's done something like this, because I did see that his parents came out and basically asked him not to do anything crazy, to not do anything that's not needed to, and to stay safe. Um, because he's been known already to do stuff like this before. He's already been to other protests. He's already been to other movements, and it's been seen, and his parents even know who he was. Um, if they're saying don't do anything crazy, don't get yourself hurt, means he has a history of this type of stuff. Um, which that kind of correlates with the gun itself. People that are not mentally fit should not own a gun. That's just in my opinion. Um, you should be in a clean bill of health mentally to own a firearm. Uh, Firearms are a big responsibility. They are right, but with great power comes great responsibility, as Spider-Man would say. And that's where I will stand with that. I will die on that hill. All right. Now we're gonna talk about what happened when he got on the ground. Um, they said gun. Somewhere's in the middle of that. I guess they said it looked like he was going for where his waistband, right? And from there, you hear a good amount of pops. It wasn't just a couple, because two officers did shoot, and you saw one of the officers running away with a gun in his hand. I think it might be right here. I think right at the top here. I think we can show this without getting in trouble. So, yeah, go ahead and show this real quick. We're just gonna leave it there. What? Yeah. Come on, man. You don't like your then just plug it in. You don't want to be around your car and stuff. Okay. All right. So as we can see from that actual video, there's multiple views on the thing it taking place. Like they did say, the DHS Christy Nomi, she did say that there was a resist, that there was fighting. Um, to more put this out into better, we need longer videos than what is being shown, right? Because I mean, it's just like nothing really matters until that body cam comes out, right? Because they had, let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight agents there, nine right there in the back, nine agents, two people, or was it three? It might have been three. So nine. I'll say nine people for three people. Okay, so nine cops versus three suspects. Two weren't armed. One had a gun. Um, eh, they said that Pretti was being aggressive, which, like I said, we need longer videos to see because I guess he was being an agitator, which we did see from a couple days before the fact. It's not like it would be a far fetched assumption, but once again, proof matters. Okay, so facts matter. What we can see from here is basically what happens is they get him to the ground. One of them yells gun, shots go off, and the shots don't go off until after the one ICE agent is running away with his pistol. And when he's running away with his pistol, you can go ahead and look this up. I should have had it ready, but there is a video going around of when he's running with the pistol. The reasons why the officers shoot is because the guy running with the pistol fires all by itself. Okay, pops off two shots. After those two shots start, you hear a bunch more go. Um, the big thing here is the pistol that Pretti did have is banned to be sold in most states because it's not the safest firearm to own because it does misfire by itself. And this is what did happen. You can see that the ICE agent's finger was not on the trigger. He was being well trigger disciplined. He was holding the gun like this, and his finger on the outside of the gun. Right? So it's not like he did it or it was an accident by him. It was a misfire from the actual gun. And that misfire did cause the whole interaction to explode, right? Once again, until that body cam comes out, I don't know if they're going to release this one because it'd be a lot. It would be a lot more gruesome than basically what the first one was for Nicole. Well, Renee Nicole Good, because this one's going to be up close and personal. There's nothing going to be covering the body cam. They would have to blur a lot of it out, and that's just not going to work because then we're not going to see no proof. You know, we're not going to see like hands moving, what's going on. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to see somebody get put down that close because that might just add more hysteria to the fire. You know what I'm saying? So, what I can say on the topic is, like I said, sad it happened. I feel like if he was known as an agitator, he shouldn't have owned his gun. Because obviously there's one thing of peacefully protesting and trying to get something across that you want to get across, but then there's also something else that you have a history of anger issues, and it shows when your parents even go, please don't do something dumb that's going to get yourself killed, and then ta-da. Okay, it does come down to the point of fact that if he wanted to be there, he shouldn't have brought his gun. He shouldn't have brought his gun and 2 extra magazines with the gun. Okay, it's like he knew something was going to happen or that he wanted something to happen. It's kind of like the guy who was in Minnesota and he was in Minneapolis and he was on the corner of a street and he was holding his AR-15 out. Like, I get open carry, right? But I don't think you can open carry an AR-15 on the corner saying you're protecting your neighborhood when if an ICE agent comes, what are you going to mow him down with the AR? Then what? If he gets shot and killed, that's also going to be the ICE agent's fault? No. Guns come with responsibilities. Use them right. Don't be dumb with them. Okay? They are a Second Amendment right, but they also have responsibility. Great power, great responsibility. Spider-Man. I'll say it again. But yeah. I think overall it could have played out a little better. Definitely think the 2 Border Patrol agents definitely should either get their badges taken away or I can't even say that because if they heard shots go off and none of them shot before the fact, I can see why they could have thought they were getting shot at. But the guy's in your vision on the ground, and you can obviously see that he didn't have a gun anymore because the one agent took it away, running away to the vehicle. I don't know. I don't know how the law works with that type of thing. I get it; it's a tense situation. Maybe they're looking around and they didn't know. They heard the shots and then they instantly thought it was him. If they don't get their badge taken away, at least retrained, because in a tense situation like that, you got 9 officers around. It just ended bloody when I don't think it should have. But that's what I'm gonna say. Both sides were in the wrong here again. And it stems from the Democrats pushing an ideology of basically everybody on the right's Nazis and fascists, and I mean that's their right to believe that. But them pushing this ideology is leading their followers into danger and getting them killed, right? Telling them it's okay to impede an ICE investigation, for them to go up and help the detainees not being detained anymore, or fight back, get them out of your state. Like, they're amping them up. They're doing exactly what they want them to do. And it's ending up bloody, but you want to know what it's doing for them? It's making it so that their ideology is even being enforced more because, their actions shouldn't have reactions. Their actions should be it, and that's it. But when their actions have reactions, and that's what the Democrats are planning on, they play off of it. They instantly play off of it. 80% of the news networks are Democratic ran or Democratic side. There's only about 20% of the actual news press that's actually Republican. So all you're going to get is the left-wing agenda pushed down your throat 24/7. This is why it's very important to do your own research, looking at things, and not try to have a biased view. Try to see where both sides can be wrong. Just in this situation, both sides are wrong. Both sides. Terribly wrong. But we're going to move on from that one. We just spent some good time on that. And it does look like 2 officers are going to be put on leave, which is a good thing. We'll see what happens with the investigation about it, because this one definitely needs to be investigated compared to the Renee Nicole one. In my eyes, Renee Nicole good. She was trying to flee, but he was in the way of her fleeing. Self-defense for the first shot. The 2 other shots after that definitely was overkill. So now we're going to go into Ilhan Omar. So she is a very well known politician who comes out of Minneapolis herself and Minnesota. She is what exactly what it says here. She's a Democrat. She was doing a speech today this morning, and while she was doing it, a guy did go ahead, run at her, and then press a bunch of fluid on her. It's an unknown substance still. This one's a little weird because she tried to go on and say that she was a survivor of a political attack afterwards. Um, it's just really. Uh, I wouldn't call it a political attack. It's definitely something serious because you don't know what the substance is, but it's not like a bullet got flung at her head, right? It's not like she was actually attacked. Somebody tried to stab her or shoot her or beat her up or hurt her. I get it. It's still a strange fluid. It's in a syringe. You're wondering what this kind of is. Um, Overall, when it does come down to it, it looks all a little fake to me, but I'm glad she's all right. But I mean, he's been under a lot of press lately. A lot of press, especially with all the Somalian fraud and the fraud in Minnesota. So, I mean, it's one of those things of, I don't know. People already want to side with her because she's a woman and she's a Muslim. So, I mean, could it have been fake? Very much well. Could have been real? Very much well. In my personal opinion, by looking at the video and actually watching it, kind of looks fake, right? Because after she got hit with it, it's like she like ran to him trying to like act all tough and just looks a little funny, man. But yeah. So besides that, I mean, that's all. That's all it's on there. There hasn't been no update of what the substance actually is. I guarantee it's like piss or something. If it's not piss, it's definitely some yellow liquid. It could have been alcohol. Who knows? Could have been, it could have really been like pork fat or something. Because, or pork grease. Because she is Muslim. It could have been something like that. Um, it's, if it is real, it is a shame, but I wouldn't count it as an attack still. I'm sorry. Comes down to it, you look at real attacks, and people usually leave bleeding or dead. It's not like a bullet grazed past her head or bullet hit her in the neck or, you know, a bullet ended up in her windshield. Those are like, actual attacks or, beating up, something along those lines. I don't see somebody throwing a liquid at you that obviously didn't do no harm to you at all as an attack. But but I digress from that, and because there's not much to really say on it, I just think it's funny. I think it's a joke. I don't think it was real, but like I think it was staged. I'm not saying like the video's fake, but I think it was staged. But yeah, we'll go ahead and look at possibility of another government shutdown and why. You tell them to calm down a little bit. All right, and so we're going to talk about the actual odds of this happening, which seems pretty high, especially with all the tensions between the Democrats and Republicans, especially in the ICE matter itself. Um, so, this was already a thing that we knew could happen just a couple months ago when the last one happened. It was one of those things that when all the food stamps stopped and everything like that, and it was the longest shutdown ever in U.S. history. There was already talk about when we got to this point that this could already be a thing that's going to happen. Um, is we didn't know what the reason was going to be, but we already seen it happening because the midterm election is in November. So with that being in November, uh, why not keep making government shutdowns and maybe hopefully swing people to your side if you can swing the government shutdown as the other person's fault, right? So It worked last time, kinda. Not really, but so we're gonna look at it here, man. It looks like overall, um, we are looking at basically 80% chance. All right, that's like what the odds are. We're not gonna really look too much in that because it's like a betting thing. But the reason why there might be a shutdown is because of the following shootings of Renee Nicole and Alex Pretti. Um, so they are urging, the Democrats are urging, even two Republicans are too, urging of replacing or firing Kristi Noem. Basically, because she's not doing the best job, they think, and they think she's just swiping a lot of the stuff that ICE is doing under the rug. Um, which yes and no. I can definitely agree with both sides on that. She could definitely retrain a lot of them, make sure that they're going out there and doing the right thing, not trying to have so much gun usage, right? I feel like non-violent ways to apprehend are the best ways. Obviously, can't always be like that, but with how many things have happened in Minnesota in the last month, um, it's definitely one of those things that could be re-talked about, basically retraining them, making sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, even if they are doing that, just basically reinforce it to make everybody happy and make them a little more at ease. Um, can't wait until Chuck Schumer is out of here, because he's gonna be retiring here soon. Uh, so yeah. Overall, it's very likely to happen. Now, what may happen because of this? So, government subsidies may come to a halt again. Um, Taxes, like you getting back money, might be put to a halt. Oh, then it's gonna suck very badly. I think that's like the most blunt way to put it. Um, and it's because when it comes down to it, the division in the country is real, very real. And this just shows it. And they want to divide more. Instead of us talking and actually making deals, both sides are playing the pussyfoot game where they're not trying to actually talk. They're just trying to say why they're right. Right? They're not trying to find a solution. They're just saying basically I'm right and you're wrong. And they're not actually trying to find a middle ground, which they should be doing here. Um, put everybody at ease in America, not just one side only. Um, Overall, I mean that's really it. I mean, more about the government shutdown we'll see here soon because they did just have like a peeking, like a talk about what's gonna happen, and they're very iffy about if they're just gonna let it roll over, because they really do want her out of office. Which, I mean, I don't blame them, but I still want ICE around because I know a lot of Democrats want to abolish ICE now, which is kind of stupid because we definitely can't just have illegal immigrants inside the country. Uh, it's one of those things of it affects a lot, having a lot more extra people here that are undocumented, and it does not help the economy at all. At all. Um, so I definitely don't think we should abolish ICE. Like I said, maybe retrain, show ways of doing less lethal force and more subduing by non-lethal, and try to, maybe if they are doing that already, of course, a lot of them may be, but just reinforce it to make everybody feel better. Um, and yeah, I mean, if they really want to switch her out with somebody else, go right ahead. I mean, it's not like she's the one really controlling ICE completely down, anyways. The same guy who was under Obama that was basically the head of ICE is still the head of ICE. So it hasn't really changed. It's just she's the secretary of head. So I mean, eh, that's all she really is. she's like the voice for it, you know, because the head's actually doing his job. So, I mean, we can see what happens there. We'll see probably by the first week of February. There's gonna be another shutdown. We'll see what happens Friday. Because today is Wednesday. We'll see what happens Friday, and then by next Monday we should really know if there's gonna be one. But right now it's looking pretty solid that we are going to be going into another one. Besides that, I do want to say thank you guys for joining in, taking your time to listen. If you have any talking points you want to talk about in the comments, let me know. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like, follow, subscribe, do your thing, and as always, peace out.